Hi everyone, I'm Arthur Dickins and this is my Rugby Legends podcast. In each episode, I interview an amazing rugby player or coach, get their insight and advice for young rugby players just like me who are keen to learn to get better. In this episode, I'm speaking with Ollie Hassell-Collins, one of the most electrifying wingers in the Gallagher Prem. Ollie is an England international who joined Leicester Tigers in 2023 after making over 100 appearances for London Irish, where he had become a firm fan favourite. Ollie came through the England pathway system, combining full-time education of playing for the England under-18s and under-20s. He made his debut in the 2023 Six Nations against Scotland and is now one of the most physically imposing wingers in the game. I hope you find Ollie's knowledge and wisdom as helpful as I did. Enjoy. Firstly, Ollie, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be on our podcast. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome. I'm very excited for this chat, and you've got an exceptional shirt on, so I can't complain.
You started at Newbury RFC with your dad as the coach. What were the key moments that shaped the player you became?
I think I was very lucky that he was my coach. He helped me a lot. Obviously, I'm sure, as your dad does, he travels around with you all around the country, taking you to tournaments, standing in the wet rain, the cold, supporting you. So I was very lucky that he was able to do that with me and help me get better and grow as a player. But I think when you're at that age, you just love playing rugby, don't you? You love it with your mates. You go on great tours. That was one of the big things I used to love at that age. We went on a tour to Brazil as like a goodbye tour, and it was one of the most incredible things I've ever done. Obviously, we went to like Wales and Ireland and places like this. So doing that with mates, spending time playing against different teams. And then I think as you get a bit older, you play in the county leagues, and we had some good rivalries with like Maidenhead, like a couple Reading clubs. So it prepares you for the bigger games. But again, it's like I say, it's just great fun, play with your mates, and I've got my dad there to support me and help me get better. And he was always there whenever I needed anything or whenever I wanted to go up to the club to practice something. He was always up there with me. So yeah, I was very lucky growing up.
That's so cool. You went on all those tours.
Yeah, it was amazing. Brazil was it was different gravy. We went to the favelas, had a tour around the favelas. We played a couple Brazilian teams, went down to Sao Paulo, played a team, spent a bit of time in Brazil, and played beach rugby against some of the Brazilians. That was amazing. Nothing will ever be that, I don't think.
So was Brazil your favourite tour?
Without a doubt.
For a young winger at grassroots level, what's one fundamental they should prioritise above everything else?
Sounds a bit easy, but I think catch pass is so important. You know, there's a lot more work for wingers to do now. So to have that basic skill of catch passing is huge. It's a little bit boring, but being able to, when you get connected with those guys, and then you're able to put other people away where people are not expecting, you know, because you're a winger, you're not as skillful or whatever. Being able to put those players away can really be the difference. And then obviously footwork. I love practicing my footwork. It's so fun to practice. You know, have one-on-one battles, try and break some ankles. So that's always good fun. And then I suppose as you get older, the high ball stuff becomes quite a big deal, especially with the new rules of no escorting. You have to get really comfortable and confident doing that.
When you say about stepping, do you have anybody you look up to and be like, I wish I could do that step?
Oh, it's got to be Cheslin Colby. I think he's without doubt my favourite winger. I think he's the best winger in the world. I'm obviously a very different player to Cheslin Colby. He's a little bit smaller, and his footwork's different to different people. You know, he can step people in a phone box. My footwork looks a little bit different to his. You might be one step and then try and power through or go on the outside. But But yeah, Cheslin Colby's just, I could watch his highlights on YouTube all day. Just
Yeah,
silly good.
yeah, he's such a good player. I remember, I think he kicks as well, doesn't he? Goals.
Yeah, he could do everything. He played, I think he was at Toulouse. He had a game at fly half as well. Or yeah, he's a pretty good rugby player. Who's your favourite?
My favourite rugby player. That's got hard. I really like Finn Smith. I like the way he plays.
Yeah.
He's such a cool guy. And his game management, I just really like
Yeah.
it.
You fly half?
I am fly half, so.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, you're definitely up there.
Thank you.
You're a physically big winger. Was this always the case as you played through the age groups?
Yeah. So I was always one of the bigger guys. When I was real young, I was in the forwards because I was taller. Just kind of getting in there, but then I decided that it wasn't for me. And then I slowly got quicker and then moved out to the backs. But then as I was kind of like 14 to 16, I played a couple games at back row, like number 8. But yeah, I spent most of my time in the backs and definitely felt a bit more comfortable in there, the wing fullback position, 13 position. I was definitely, that was my calling, definitely.
Do you ever miss playing any of those positions?
I enjoyed 13. 13's good fun. But like I say, similar to wingers with a lot more job to do. So 13 and wing you're kind of doing similar things. Defensively, it's obviously very different. Number 8 would be good fun. I wouldn't mind having to go there again. But I mean, the forwards these days are a bit bigger than they were when I was playing number 8 back in age group. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, if I got bigger, because I'm quite a small person in the game, number 8 is such a cool position.
Yeah, just so much involvement, isn't there? There's a lot of work to do. You get through, and you get a lot of ball as well, which is the exciting bit.
Yeah, 100%. You're kind of like a back and a forward almost.
Exactly. Yeah.
What skill do you have to work the hardest on as you develop your game?
When I was growing up, it was obviously my left hand. You always have one hand stronger than your other, don't you? So my right hand was very strong. I was very comfortable in that. But my left hand wasn't great. So I'd spend a lot of time on that. And probably, like I said earlier, the high ball stuff, as you go through age group, it's not really something that's a focus. So being able to do that and get comfortable, like I said, and confident doing that, took a bit of time. And then as you've seen, also like I said, the rule changes I've seen this year, something we focused on is being able to catch it above head. So it's easy catching like this when you've got the escorts, you've got this nice cradle where the ball's going into, but above head's a lot harder skill. There's a lot more that can go wrong. So that was something this year that we've worked really hard on, and we've gotten pretty good at it. And we're pretty confident doing that, which is good. It kind of takes out that 50-50. A lot of people are coming to slap it with the no escorts or just try and make a mess of it. So being able to do that and get above their hands is a huge skill to have.
What kind of age did that high ball stuff come about? Because there are now, like I was under 14s, which is mad.
Yeah. You can kick, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't really do the high ball stuff isn't really a thing.
No, it's kind of like under 14s a bit, then yeah, the rest.
Yeah. The main thing is just kind of when you play adult. Like I say, it was the skills changed because the escorts have gone. With the escorts, it was more of a 90% you're going to catch it, whereas now it's like a complete 50-50. So the skill, you have to obviously develop the skill of catching it here, but now the skill's changed to being able to catch here and above here. But like I say, when you get professional, that stuff, you have coaches around you, amazing coaches around you that will help you with that.
I remember seeing, I think Saracen's definitely playing. I remember Noah Kaloi jumped up in the air. He's always got the ball. It's mad.
Yeah, he's very good at jumping, yeah.
Would it be quite hard to face against him in the high ball?
There was one, I think they had a free kick, and me and him went up for one, and that was a good one-on-one battle. But yeah, no, you have to prepare for everything. No, there's a lot of teams. Sale are very good at it. Sale are good. They go to their kicking game a lot. They're very comfortable with it. We think we're good at it. So yeah, there's a lot of teams that are very good at it and very comfortable playing that kicking game.
as you said about it's like a 50-50 who wins it, would you say like would height make a difference, for example? So if you're facing the Kalori, would it be like a 60-40?
It definitely does make a bit of a difference, of course. Taller you are is obviously going to help you. But I think as well, there's a lot more that goes into it with how you generate momentum to get into the air, how you use your body to, put them off, create a bit of separation between you and the player. So that's quite a big thing that we try and focus on is how we can run onto the ball, get as much momentum as possible, create, be physical in the air, and then create that separation, which will make the catch easier. If you're going up, standing still, they're running onto it, it's going to be very hard to win that back. So yeah, just how you're able to time it so it's at your top of your jump, you're taking it, and then creating that separation to make the catch a bit easier.
That's very interesting. I didn't realise you did like loads more work. I thought you didn't do much work on that as a club.
No, yeah, there's a lot of thinking that goes into it. You've obviously seen as well a lot of teams now are they'll drop someone back, so they have the 15, then the winger will be here, and as the box kick's going up, this winger will take it and run with the opposite winger, so it's kind of like a shoulder to shoulder rather than this guy taking it. So this winger will either go up, catch it, or he'll go up and try slap it back to the 15. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into the high ball stuff at the moment.
Which one would you prefer, slapping it back or catching it?
I prefer catching it, definitely. The feeling that you get of catching it above head and coming down with it, knowing that it's like one of the most perfect catches you've ever done, it's a great feeling. Honestly, it's so good. I love it.
Gains a lot of aura as well.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you decide between staying out wide and coming in search of the ball?
Again, there's a lot that goes into this. So there's a lot of times. So if the ball's going away from you, you can maybe anticipate a line break and maybe chase through the middle. So obviously, I've assume you've seen Chris Ashton, his tries. He was very good at anticipating the game and where the ball's going to end up. So that's one way. Obviously, you don't want to waste energy and try and get on the other side of the pitch because that's not helping anyone. So you have to time it. It's a lot of it is about timing. So there's that. There's obviously, so if the ball's coming towards you, and let's say the 13 carries, and then the 15 and forward or 12 might be in that ruck, and then as a winger you notice that, and then you can go and help out on the other side, and then these guys in this ruck will drop back and look after your wing almost. So you can go and get connected to the 10 or the other back, or organise something on this side of the pitch, and then the guys that are getting up can help organise something on this side of the pitch. So there's a lot of it's just about timing, and when's best to go is difficult. It's just noticing, because you don't want to leave your wing empty. You need someone on the edge. So it's about making sure that as you go, you talk to someone saying, you stay, I'm going, you look after this, and I'll be back whenever I get back. So that's the main thing. And then obviously, as we get closer to the try line, you want to kind of keep, unless it's a set play, wingers will kind of tend to stay on the edge to hold the width. As you see a lot of time in rugby, that over the top ball to the winger is usually on in the 22. So you always need someone out there. But yeah, it's just about noticing who's in the breakdown and kind of what's going on in the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
There's a lot there.
Yeah, I see a lot of Premiership teams this weekend, last weekend. I mean, they did a lot of that. I remember when you guys got to the Premiership final, I think it was in the semi-final against Sale. I remember Pollard did this kick to Radwan. He dived for it.
Yeah.
That was a really good try.
Exactly, yeah. If you've got a forward out there, they're not going to do that. So, yeah, that was, I think that's one of the best tries I've ever seen live. That was just silly.
Defence is something wingers can neglect. How important has your defensive game been to your career?
Yeah, defence is massive. A lot about, as a winger, defense, a lot of it, what happens on the inside will help you a lot as a winger. So if you're not getting width from the inside as a winger, you're very exposed. And like I said, if you've got people coming around the corner, getting connected, it's a very hard job for you. So I love defense. Defense is so important to games. You've seen a lot this year. There's been some high scoring games, hasn't there? We've really tried to focus on our defense. I used to hate tackling. I used to absolutely hate it. It was horrible. But then I decided, and I kind of figured out it could be a bit of a weapon if I could really work on it. Because of my size, I was one of the bigger wingers. And so I kind of went away, I worked on it, and then just fell in love with defence. But there's so many different defensive systems. A lot of people at the moment are very aggressive defensives. Some people will be a bit more connected and sit off and try and get you to a touchline. Some will try and shut you down, and like South Africa, they're very aggressive. They've got very aggressive. I'd be a little bit nervous, but they obviously know each other very well and they know the system very well. But yeah, there's so many defenses. So as a winger, it's just about kind of adapting to those defenses. But yeah, defense is huge. And then kind of as a winger, the talk is so important. Talking to the 13 or whoever's on your inside. If your number's up, you can be a bit more aggressive. If your number's down, you have to tell them they need to get to you, and you can be a bit more connected. So I'm constantly talking to the people on the inside. I know 15. I'm always talking to 15 about the backfield, whether he's going to come and help me on the end of the line, or if it's on the other side, I'm dropping off, covering that space for him. So yeah, again, defense. There's a lot that goes into defense, but I think the most important thing is the chat, constantly talking to, and it's important for tens as well. You never know, you might find yourself in the backfield. You see a lot of that at the moment. So how you guys are talking to wingers and your centres, always chatting about where you are, who you're covering, who you've got, is very important. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot that goes into everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to make it. I don't want to go too deep.
Yeah, no, South Africa, very tactical. I remember watching, I think it was the World Cup, a couple of years back. And I remember they had, it was one of their back row against like a winger, because they plant and they do a crossbow kick. And that's
Yeah.
when you have to really go at defence.
Yeah. No, South Africa are, they're very good defence. Like you said, like I said, they're very aggressive. They just try and shut you down and catch you behind the gain line. So it must be very hard to play against.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
And they're obviously very physical as well.
Yeah, I can't. Fiji are very physical, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, they are specimens. The size of their legs. All the islanders, Tongans, Samoans, beasts.
Yeah, no, it's mad. I can't imagine tackling that, because I remember seeing a TikTok. It was of Tursova, and on its side looked absolutely huge.
Huge. I was never opposite him, but I was opposite. Do you remember someone called Nairo? There was a Saints winger. He was a big guy. I forgot his name. And obviously Nadolo at Leicester as well. Thankfully, I was never opposite them. But yeah, they were big boys.
I know there's two Fijians in Bristol Bears, and one of them plays on the wing. How would you handle tackling him?
Difficult. You kind of just got to fly into them. Obviously, you've got to read the body language, and it depends how much time they've got and how much time you've got. Obviously, if they've got a bit of time, you try and maybe wait, let them see what they do, and then you can go and attack them. If you can go get man and ball, then you go get aggressive with them, definitely.
And when we interviewed Leon Lloyd, he said with Jonah Lomi, he just dived at his legs and just
yeah, you just got to fly into them. As most tackling, you just fly in, and usually the outcome will be good.
And it's often quite satisfying as well when you just dive at their legs and they just fall over.
Yeah.
What techniques, skills do you think are most underrated in back play?
I think catch pass, like I said earlier, probably gets looked over, because it's just kind of a given, isn't it? Oh, you play rugby, you you can catch pass. But the importance of that is massive. You know, a try that if a pass checks you, could be the difference between scoring or not. So that's obviously a huge skill and a given. I think probably like I spoke about there, one-on-one defence. If it's one-on-one, it might lead to a line break, which you don't want to happen. So that's pretty big. Oh, I don't know. Maybe like the attacking kicks, like the grubbers or the little chips. That could be a real weapon. You know, you can score some nice tries off chips, off grubbers, off 10 coming round, putting it over the top for the winger or the centres. There's a lot of skills. Yeah, I'd say those three probably underrated. I think they're kind of, people expect you to be good at them, or you don't work on them because you're a professional and it's a given. But actually, there's a lot of time and extras that we do on all of that stuff. We spend a lot of time on how fast we can get the ball in and out of our hands. We spend a lot of time, as I said earlier, we do our footwork, one-on-one attack. You work on your defence as well. And then a lot of time on your grubbers, regathering, your little chips, trying to get that bounce back into your hands. Yeah, I'd probably say those three.
Yeah, no, I remember. I think it was on YouTube. I remember Henry Pollock saying you gotta, when he chips over, you gotta try read the ball where it's bouncing. So yeah, but no, it's always very satisfying when it bounces back at you to score.
It is very satisfying. Yeah, that's a good point. You can read as the ball's in the air. You can see kind of how it's moving, and then you can try and anticipate. You can slow your foot speed down. Maybe be like, oh, it's going this way, so the defender's flying across. So actually, it's going to end up here. Yeah. So you kind of watch the ball move and see where it's going to bounce.
You were at London Irish when the club went into administration. Can you tell us about that experience?
It was tough. It was very tough. Friends had to retire because there wasn't much out there for them. Obviously, you had Wasps in the same year, and then Worcester. And so there was a lot of free players. So there wasn't much space for some of these guys. So they had to retire. Or if you found something, it was probably on the other side of the world. So we had a couple hours out in Japan, down in South Africa, over to France. A couple of the coaches moved out to Australia. So yeah, no, it was tough, and we were really pushing that year. I think we came 5th that year. So you could see the rise that we were on and the quality we had in the squad. I'd been at that club since I was 16. I loved the club and owe a lot of my career to that club. So when it did happen, it was really tough. But I think the main thing is, like Wasps and Worcester, when they were, obviously didn't exist. Now they do. I think we all still had a group chat. So there's still like a London Irish group chat where if you go back to Australia and you come across one of them, you put a picture in the chat, or there's still a lot that gets posted in there. If people get married or something, there'll always be a congratulations message and all of this stuff. So everyone's still very connected through the group chat. And, I get very excited to play teams like Gloucester because there's a lot of London Irish people there. A lot of my mates, Bath, Henry, saw Henry Arundel at the weekend, good mates with him. So yeah, it's exciting playing against them. Of course, it's good fun. It's always, it's nice to get one up on them. It was a tough time, definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm just so sad, especially how much work and dedication it takes to be a professional rugby player, and that all can just be lost in a matter of days.
Exactly. Yeah, there's only a few lucky ones that carried on, and coaches. We had a lot of great coaches there. There's a really good coaching group. Yeah, no, it was a tough time, definitely.
You paint your fingernails. Can you tell us about that?
I can. My most asked question. I do it. I started because I bit them, and it wasn't a nice habit. I didn't enjoy having that habit. I used to get really short, and it didn't feel nice. So I obviously tried the stuff that doesn't taste nice, I didn't get on with that. Obviously, it did its job. It did not taste nice, but it was when I was having sandwiches and stuff. It was like getting my food, and yeah, it wasn't the one. So then, my girlfriend did her own nails, and so she was like, "I've got this clear one. Do you want to try that?" I was like, "Yeah, I might as well. Might stop me." So I did that, and it did work. And then just went from there. We started with my pinky was white, so we started with just plain white pinky, just to see what it was like if I liked it or not. And then I think we went pinky and thumb. Then we went pinky, thumb, middle finger. This was just plain white, so it wasn't too loud. And then we just went for it. All fingers, plain white. And then the more I did it, I just got colourful with it, got some different designs up. At the time, I was doing it every week, so I could kind of change the colours to what was going on that week. So one week I was making my 100th appearance for Irish. So I had the number, obviously 100, I had a 100 on my nails, which was cool. But now it's a little bit different. I get them done. She doesn't have the patience for me to do them. I'm a bit picky now. I know what I like, so I go to someone to get them done. And yeah, I just enjoy doing it, just coming up with different designs, just having some fun with it. And it's just a way of expressing myself in my own way. Yeah, no, I do enjoy it. It's good for. I've got a good set on at the moment. Nice and colourful, a bit random.
That's so cool. Do you have any like favourites or like go-to designs?
Ooh, for summer, I like a pastel colour. Pastel, like a matte pastel, looks very good in summer. Favourite designs. The hundred one for Irish was pretty cool. I did one when I first came to Leicester. I did Leicester colours, which was cool. I've got a whole folder of inspiration for nail art, so I kind of go through that, and then I'll pick a few different things out, and then send it to my nail art lady, and she does them for me. Very lucky. She's very good at them.
That is so cool. Every young player faces setbacks. What's your advice for getting through those moments?
So, kind of the first setback I kind of encountered in rugby was, so one year I went for county trials and didn't make it, which was obviously tough at that time. I thought it was everything. So I kind of went, and I was also a bit disappointed. Didn't want to do anything, and then I think I kind of just got that extra motivation just to get better, keep working on my rugby. I was obviously still very young, very raw, so there's obviously loads of skills that I just wanted to get work on. And then as you get older, as you get your head coaches and all of that, you got to keep asking the coaches questions. It's never, go in for one-on-one meetings and get a bit more detail on what you can do or all of this stuff, try and get ideas out of them. Also, so the next year I got back into county. So, and I think it was a different coach. It's one person's opinion. You've got to make sure that obviously you go away and you work on that, on what they've said. But don't get too disheartened about it. It's never as bad as it seems. And there's always a way back in. So just keep, when it does happen, because it's happened to me a few times. It's not, you don't get this perfect career of never getting dropped or never getting picked. It's just how it goes. You just go away, you be the best version of yourself, and you keep working hard. And then as you get older, you go through the academies and the under 18s, and you might not, boys don't get signed. There's only a select few that will get signed. But as we've seen, there's a lot of pathways into rugby now. Uni is a massive one. At the moment, there's a lot of boys that have come through the uni pathway. So a lot of those guys have, they didn't get signed. They went to uni, played very well, and they've got picked up. And now they're playing Premiership rugby. Like Tom Pearson, for example, came to Irish, came through, I think, Cardiff Met, came to Irish, now at Northampton, won the league, got an England cap. So it is never the end. It's never the end.
Oh,
Just keep working hard.
100%. I fully agree with you. I remember someone saying 100 people could be, yes, you should be starting. Then one person could be like, no. So it's one person's
Exactly.
decision.
Yeah. And you take that feedback, you keep asking questions, you keep working hard, and then you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I remember when we were interviewing Marcus Watson, he was like, just ask questions.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that was one thing I maybe didn't do enough of as I was coming through. Didn't ask enough questions of the coaches. But now I understand how important it is, and you try and ask as many as you can, definitely.
What do you wish someone had told you at grassroots level that you only figured out later?
I think at grassroots, you play it because you love the game, don't you? You're playing it with your mates. You're running around, playing rugby, getting tackled, tackling people, and it's good fun. I think as you get a bit older, try and understand. When I was maybe your age, I was watching rugby because I enjoyed it, and I was kind of there for a good time and just love watching rugby. But as I got older, I didn't really get out of that. I think as I got to about 18, 19, and my coaches are kind of like, you need to watch more rugby and actually analyse it. So when I was a bit younger, like 15, 16, I could have maybe been watching the games and trying to analyse and understand what was happening, like the tactical side of things, watching my position, what they do well, and try and replicate that, like you do with Chesley and Colby's step. You watch it and try and replicate it, don't you? So I definitely have many times I can't quite get it. It's getting there. So yeah, you just try and watch your position and understand them, which maybe I didn't do as I was coming through. So now, obviously, part of the job you have to analyse. There's a lot of analysis that goes into it. So yeah, probably that I'd say.
100%. I was trying to work on my drop kicks, and I saw this video of Johnny Wilkinson. So I was looking at like the hand positioning, and that really helped.
Yeah, definitely. It's exactly, it's tiny things like that, isn't it? It's one little change can make massive differences.
Was there any wingers you looked up to when you were analysing games?
Obviously, Anthony Watson. He was just silly good. Jack Noel, obviously another very good winger. I think when you look back a little bit more in time, look at Jason Robinson, the way he was just able to step and just go. He was gone. That's a huge skill. So I think those three. I think Jack Noel was maybe a little bit more like me, or I was trying to be a little bit more like him. The way he got involved. He was very good at picking around the ruck, and he had a very physical game. And then obviously like Anthony Watson's step, that was similar to Jason Robinson, the way he was able to just step and like he was gone. He was very good. And then yeah, so they're probably like the main three. Two are a little bit different. Like I say, Jack Knowles, that physical winger, that was very good at picking up. And there's obviously, I don't know if you remember, there's chat that he was like going to have some games at flanker or have a go at flanker during a game or something. So yeah, I was maybe a little bit more similar to him. And then, like I say, being able to watch Anthony Watson's footwork and try and replicate that. And I'm obviously lucky enough to spend time with both of them. I picked their brains. Obviously, Anthony, I was with Leicester and spent a bit of time with England with Jack Noel. So I was very lucky enough to spend a bit of time with both of them, yeah.
Yeah, no, Jack Noel looks like he has kind of a flanker build as well.
Yeah, he was very hard to tackle. He also yeah, it was him. One of the first games I ever played against him was Irish and Exeter. And I remember, I think they put Vaseline on his legs. And I remember like tackling him and just sliding off. And my hands were just covered in this Vaseline. I was just like, what is this? Trying to get it off. And I think the ball came and dropped it or something. So there's Vaseline that was on my hands.
Yeah, no, some of my friends at sevens, they're putting baby oil on their legs.
Yeah. It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah, but it kind of, when you're rubbing it on, because you have somebody else rubbing it on for you, it does mess up your hands a bit. You have to go wash them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got the physios to do it. I used to do it back in the day. Just get the physios to get a glove on and put some bass on.
And when you're talking about club and analysing games, did you always want to be professional? If not, what age did you want to become professional?
Yeah, I think probably about 14, 15. I was like, I definitely want to make this. I think at that age, there's a few boys that are in like academies, and they'll go off to their academies on a Monday night and then come to training in their academy kit or whatever. And I was kind of like, I wasn't quite there. I wasn't in one of those academies at that age. And I think that gave me a bit of motivation. I was like, yeah, I want to become professional. And then I did. Have you heard of ACE College?
I think it rings a bell, but
Yeah. So you go to a college and you study, and then you have this thing called ACE, where rugby is like part of part of your like schedule. So at Irish, we had obviously Hazelwood was down the road, and then we had our college, which was like a 10-minute walk. So we'd obviously study, do everything in college, and then we'd train and gym at Hazelwood. And so I went to trial there when I was 16. Yeah, 16. And then after one of the trials, the coaches came up to me and said, like, oh, what do you do Monday nights? So I was like, obviously nothing. Oh, do you want to come up next Monday or a couple of Mondays for academy? I want to put you on trial. So I think that happened. And then I was like, yes, this is it. Like, make the most of this. Obviously did well enough, played well in like those 2 years, 17, 18 years. Actually, when I was 18, I did struggle a bit. I was tore my hamstring twice. So I actually didn't play much in that year. But in my first year, obviously played well enough to get signed. So I think, yeah, when I kind of got accepted into the academy, into this ACE college, I was like, just make a real push. And it's the closest thing you can get as to professional rugby at that age. I think unless you go to private school, at that age, it's kind of the closest thing. So when you do it, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I get a Wednesday off, play a game on a Wednesday afternoon. I get a half day on a Friday. So I was like, yeah, I've got to do this. And then, yeah, played well enough in my first year and thankfully got signed.
such a cool story.
Yeah, there's been a few lads that have come through ACE. You know Johnny Williams? Played for Wales.
Yeah,
Plays for Wales. He's a Scarlett, I think he is. He came through ACE. Yeah, no, there's a lot of boys that have done it. It's a good pathway. It's good fun. It is very good fun as well. We had I was at a host family most weeks. So there's me and another lad in there. We were living in Hampton, which is a nice area. So yeah, it was good fun. Very good fun.
that sounds so cool. When you talk about your hamstring injury, like, are you good with recovery and good with stretching, or are you not very good with it?
Yeah, I think obviously I was very lucky that I had the physios and they kind of give you the rehab. But now I've, touched wood, I've been very lucky with injuries. So you kind of do prehab. So a lot of it, we call it fortify at the club. So you do extra hamstring work and extra calf work. So if you do that, then you're kind of readying your body for that high speed and for the demand of a game. It was never really a thing I took seriously until I started playing properly. So maybe about 20. I found two things that worked. I tried a lot of things, a lot of recovery. I tried hot pod yoga. I tried cupping. I've tried the hyperbaric chamber. There's obviously stretching, mobility stuff. That would always be numero uno. And sleep. They're the two most important things. But the two things I found are ice baths, which I hate, which is weird. So I hate ice baths. Love a sauna, only when it's obviously cold out. If it's warm outside, you don't want to go in a sauna. So it just dehydrates you as well. But the two things I found I loved was compression legs. So I've got a set of Normatecs, which, do you know what they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a set of them which I take everywhere with me. Away games, they'll always be with me. Home games, I'll get on night before the game, and then morning of the game, I'll get on them. And then during the week, I get in a cryo chamber. So I hate ice baths, but I love a cryo. I think cryo is a little bit easier because you don't get the shock of the cold water. So yeah, I love it. Those are the two. Those are the two that I found worked great for me. But you have to try. There's so much stuff to try. Obviously, masseuses. We're lucky enough to get masseuses at the club. I've got a massage tomorrow morning actually, which I'm very excited for. So yeah, I got sleep, mobility, compression, cryo when it's available, and a massage. If I get those 5 things right, I know I'm probably in a good spot for the weekend. And then obviously all the other stuff around it. But yeah, there's a lot to try out there. It's good fun, and you have to enjoy doing it as well. If you don't enjoy doing it, you're not gonna. There's no point in doing it just for the sake of it. So I don't enjoy doing ice baths, so I don't do ice baths. Or if I do, I only go up to my calves or my hips.
Yeah, no, when we interviewed Asher Pocky Fortune, he said, yeah, it's famous the compression boots as well.
Yeah, they're like, I think some people love them, some people don't. But I absolutely love them. They're by far the best thing I've ever bought in my life was those compression boots.
Yeah, when I was at Rosden Park, I was lucky enough. So there was like this, I think it was an Elite Academy tent. And you had to scan this QR code, then you got compression boots. So like mid-sevens tournament, they're so nice. And you just sit down, go on your phone. So.
Exactly, yeah. You can chill out, put something on TV, or you're on your phone, like you say. Yeah. Was that good fun, the Rosden Park?
Oh, yeah, no, I loved it. So us under 13s, it's not competitive, but next year it is competitive, and I think we've got a really, really good team, strong team. So hopefully,
nice.
cross fingers.
That'd be good, yeah. Who won it this year?
For under 18s,
Yeah.
it was Wellington College. So I think they won most things in the under 18, like St Joe's Festival.
I don't know that.
No, the main one was Rosden Park. They won them.
Yeah.
They're really good. It was so cool watching them. Who was it they were playing? Whitgift. It was Whitgift they were playing, but it's so cool watching both of them play.
Good final.
Yeah,
it's a good day out. It's a very good tournament. It is good fun.
Yeah, 100%. But I remember, I think it was 2 years back. It was like boiling hot. So when it's like hot, the ground's hard, and it's so. One of my friends got a concussion. It's just not nice.
Oh no. Need it sunny, but a little bit soft.
Yeah. But when it's sunny, it's good to watch, but to play, not really.
Yeah, it's too hard. Yeah.
Who has been the most influential teammate in your career, and what have you learned from them?
There's a few I can think of. So, Topsy Ojo, I was coming through the academy, and he helped me a lot. Obviously a legend in the game. He helped me a lot. Stephen Myler was very helpful. Again, I was coming through the academy. He was obviously at fly half, and he just gave me like little tips and tricks, and just gave me confidence. Him and Paddy Jackson, obviously both fly halves, but both of them helped me massively in just my confidence on the pitch. They helped me a lot with my mindset. When things don't go right, just like don't worry about it, carry on. So those two were very helpful. Obviously, Topsy Ojo, like I said. And then there's 2 coaches. There's James Lightfoot Brown and Dec Danaher, who are now at Gloucester. So we're not mates anymore. There we are. But those 2 were probably, obviously with my dad as well, but those 2 are probably the most influential on my career. They like Lights helped with the skill stuff because he was a back as well, and I was with those 2 16 They brought me into the academy. I did ace with them. I got signed. They carried me through the senior academy. They were always there through that time, and then obviously I carried on progressing, and they were still there and still helping me. So I owe so much to those two. I think, so Lights helped me a lot with my skills. So did Deck, but Deck was probably helped me the most with my mindset and like my emotions. But both of them together were like amazing. I couldn't have asked for better coaches. They were always there for me, always there when I needed them. And yeah, I owe so much to those two. But player-wise, yeah, lucky enough to play with some world-class players. Obviously, Andre Pollard last year, Julian Montoya. God, yeah, I'm very lucky to play with some of these players.
Final question, Ollie. What are you most proud of in your rugby career to date?
Most proud of? Without a doubt, playing for England. Without a doubt. I know it's only twice, but just the whole occasion, something you dream of. You're dreaming at the moment, obviously, about doing that. So actually being able to run out, sing the anthem, get a cap afterwards. I saw my parents during the anthem whilst I was singing it. I managed to find them in the crowd. Seeing family and friends afterwards, it was just amazing. It was so cool.
Whenever I go to Twickenham sometimes, my favourite bit is the national anthem. You kind of feel like you're with the team.
Yeah, just belting it out, top of your lungs. It was amazing.
Like Freddie Stewart, I see him belt it out.
Yeah, yeah, he is good at it.
But Ollie, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be on our podcast. I really appreciate it, and I love chatting with you.
You're absolutely welcome. It was a pleasure. I loved every second of it.